Hey, what's up, everybody? This is GrooveSim, and welcome back to MotoGP 17 on my channel. This is going to be a one-off here. Decided to race a Moto2 race at Brno just to check out the bikes, you know, see how much fun I could have on them, and maybe just how challenging the AI would be. This is not hard difficulty at Brno. I'm racing career. I'm currently in Moto3 though, racing the Moto3 calendar round 5, I think, in Le Mans, there in France. But I've been doing some time attacks, you know, with the Moto2. I've also checked out the MotoGP bikes, which are a handful. But the Moto2 bikes I find are fun, you know. They're manageable, yeah. They definitely have more power over the.
Welcome, racing
I'll be
fans
quiet.
everywhere, and thanks for tuning in with us here in Brno to watch the Czech Republic Moto2 race. The skies over the track are clear, and the latest weather reports are telling us that temperatures will be as expected for this time of year.
Yeah, so as I was saying, yeah, I'm enjoying the Moto2 bikes and can't wait to get through my Moto3 season to get into Moto2. Yeah, they're competitive. They're a handful. I got to tell you, thanks to the magic of video and editing, I don't show you all my mistakes in this race, but I made a few. Well, when I make it sound like I made a lot. I didn't make a lot of errors, but I made 3 costly errors. You see one of them, I believe. You might see a couple of them. 3 or 4. Actually, it's probably more like 4. I actually used rewind in this race twice, so you don't see that, though. I don't believe. I think I edited that out. This post-edit commentary, obviously. I'm starting in 5th, and by the way, we scrolled past it, but I hope you took note. It was a Red Bull AJO 600cc is what we're on, a KTM. It's the starting grid. I start in 5th, as I said. I qualified with a 159.8. Meter was like 3.5 tenths quicker, roughly. So the opening lap is about set to start. I'm going to be quiet and let you check that out, and then I'll chime back in about lap 2. Maybe sooner.
Brno, everything is ready for the Czech Grand Prix now. This is one of the riders' favourite tracks, so we're guaranteed a spectacular race today.
Sir, I'm sorry, I was muted. I should comment on that little pinball thing action back a couple of turns ago, where I took 2 guys out. Well, one for sure went down. The other guy, I think, just went wide off track a little bit, just stayed on his bike. Yeah, certainly not intended, you know. I've been getting used to these bikes, and I'm a bit of a noob, when it comes to MotoGP, anything. So, but I do practice and I do try to keep it clean and within the track limits and all that. So, but that stuff does happen. It really does. So, I feel bad about it when it does. But what are you going to do? Just keep racing, right? Yeah. So, we're winding down lap 1, and lap 2 is going to be a bit of a treat because I'm going to switch to the onboard cameras, myself and a couple of other riders, I believe. Cockpit view is really nice. It looks clean. It sounds clean. We'll get into it. I promise you. We'll get into it shortly. Right about now. There we go. Yeah, cockpit view I like, man. It's clean. It sounds clean. It sounds better. Although the Moto2 bikes in general do sound better than the Moto3 and the Red Bull Rookies Cup 250s. Definitely sounds better in chase view, but even better in cockpit view. It's a nice looking cockpit view as well. So at the moment I'm in 5th, which is where I started. I dropped back a little bit in the beginning and then, got back to it. I found that, Brno was a good track for me to do a full race to test out how competitive I can be on hard AI difficulty here. Because Brno is a track I do fairly well at, I can manage it. So it's a good place to get some experience on the Moto2 bike here. And I enjoyed it, could it have been better at this point? Sure. I didn't have to take those 2 dudes out, but it wasn't intentional. Like I said, it was unintentional. But, this section here is fast. Right now we're on board, I think that was Jorge Martin behind us. And this is me again. Of course, you can tell when you're on board with my rider because you can see the actual cockpit. There it is. So that was a strange transition, but that worked out, I guess. Went from the cockpit back to the regular race view. So here we are on lap 3, and from here it's just all about not overriding the bike and just getting used to the braking and the turn and the acceleration and all that. I always try to come out, exit a turn in second, because first, there's a lot of wheel hopping and wheelies in general, which I caught on pretty quick. Like, man, I don't want to be in first at all, ever, unless I can avoid. But of course, there are times I have to go dropping into first, But if I can avoid it, I stay in second. But right now, we're doing good. We're just, again, trying to get in the groove and catch this group up ahead of me. And we're right there anyway, basically. So, but I'm very inconsistent. You'll see that. You'll see gaps close and then expand routinely, lap after lap. Just because, getting in turns kind of wide. I might be a little too critical on myself, because for the most part, I think I did all right. I was pretty smooth. But, man, any little mistake, you definitely pay for your mistakes. You know, gap widens ahead and the group behind catches you in a heartbeat, and that happens frequently. I'm going to be quiet for a little bit and let you just get into the race. So Piscini and Luthi here. Remember those names. They're key characters in this race. Piscini and Luthi. Here's Luthi. I don't know if y'all get the reference or not, but I do, and that's all that matters. Yeah, so I get by them, I'm in third, and I'm looking good, you know, and I'm feeling good. Feeling like first place is within my grasp. In fact, I'm feeling it at this point, it's inevitable. Another thing too, and you probably noticed how I sort of forced the bike over to the right to stay off the curb. There are a couple of curves that they're okay, but for the most part, I generally just found out that I want to stay the hell off the curbs. You know, the bike just behaves just completely unpredictably. Wheel hops like crazy, high revs, all that stuff, you know, and yeah, just stay off the damn curbs. That's what I kept telling myself. Like I said, there are a couple of curbs, like on exit, they're okay. Ooh, that was wheel hop right there. That's what I'm talking about. See, yeah. Stay off the curbs, man. They're death. That's what they are. This is a fun track. I really enjoy it. I do well here. And the track itself, it's just kind of mesmerizing to me. It really is. Like when I get in a flow on this track, I get mesmerized, man. I get really into it. I'm hearing the engine, and I'm checking. I'm noticing everything on the track, right? And it's if this track for me, it flows so nice. Definitely one of my favorite tracks in the game. So lap 6, still in third. I'll close ground on these two up front, then I'll drop back, as you've noticed, because I'll go wide in a turn, or too hot, or wheel hop on a curb, or whatever. I gotta catch my breath and get back into it. I could have won this race. Not that I won't. I could win this race. Post that a commentary. I could win this race. You never know. But as I've already done, I made some mistakes, and I'm assuredly not finished making mistakes. Not done by a long shot or damn shot, long stretch. I don't know. I'm getting my metaphors and my cliches sort of jumbled up. Alex Marquez and Morbidelli up front. Moment. They had themselves a nice little battle. Then I joined it. I wanted to be part of this action, This is lap 7. The infamous lap 7. So, I had a bad series of turns there, so gap widened a little bit more. So I got to catch them up again, and as you can see, Luthi and Parstini, I think is the other rider's name, have closed in on me again. It's that was the common theme throughout the majority of this race, is close the gap, screw up, and try to catch back up to where I was, Close the gap, lose the gap. Close the gap, blow it, close the gap again. Anyway, shut up. Man, it's like, commentary. Really, I was better off not saying anything, I think, at this point. But this coming up is really intense fight there. Morbidelli and Alex Marquez, the brother of Mark Marquez. I assume. And Morbidelli, I keep wanting to call him Johnny Morbidelli. There's a Johnny Morbidelli in football. There's somebody else named Morbidelli, Johnny Morbidelli or something, and I don't think that's his first name, but in this last turn, for some reason, I like the turn. I usually do well in it, but towards the end of the race, I don't know what it was. Maybe I was turning in too late or whatever, but I kept finding myself having to let out of the throttle just a tad, just breathe it a little bit, like at the very apex of the turn, in the middle of the turn, because I was going a bit too wide, and so I was losing my momentum, and that's what happened there. So I basically just sort of blocked Morbidelli till I got back on it. I was just trying to buy some time. But if they get an inch, man, they'll take it. That's all they need. About a half inch, actually. There's a half-inch gap. They'll take it. Now watch this. Oh my. I watched that on replay. Man, I got to tell you, man. Before I saw it on replay, I thought, what the hell was that all about? Because I honestly, I didn't think I went out that wide. And I also didn't believe that we made that much contact. It was like a very light tap. And he went flying. I felt guilty. I felt bad. For a moment, I thought about rewinding. But I thought, wait a minute, I'm in second now. Do that AI. No, I didn't say that. But I did feel bad. But I watched it on replay and I realized, I did kind of get in there a bit hot. I forced myself wide up into Morbidelli as he was gaining momentum again on the outside. I was on the inside. Did I say that correctly? Yeah, I got too hot inside, forced myself up wide, hit him. And it was definitely my fault. There's no question about that. However, I rewound that several times, and I'm telling you, we barely made contact, and he went flying. So I've noticed that on occasion, even when the AI is getting into accidents with each other, like you don't even see the contact, or it's barely noticeable. So maybe it's a clipping thing, or it's I don't know, but they just like all of a sudden, boop, they lose it. They lose it by themselves too, which is cool. I mean, AI makes mistakes. I've watched AI like wheel hop over a curb and stuff. Maintain control. They'll stay on the bike, but they'll make mistakes. That's the point I'm making. So, players aren't the only one who make mistakes in this game. I make my share, as you've seen. So I'm in second. I'm feeling kind of guilty, but here's what I'm telling you right now. I keep losing touch with Marquez in key spots, key moments down the stretch here. There are definitely turns I'm strong. And this last turn is where Marquez is stronger than me. See what I'm saying? I kept going wide in that turn. And I was cognizant of that, and I tried to correct it. And I just kept messing up. So you see the gap. Look at this gap. This is the final lap now. And at this point, I'm realizing I might not be able to catch Marquez. But I have second, right? It's a good thing. Usually do well in this, but you see the rear wheel hopping under braking. So that brings these two, Parsini and Luthi. Luthi we're on board with right now, but it brings him right back into the fight. So there's a possibility, because I am now I'm barely in second, but there's a possibility I could lose second and third, not even finish on the podium, and that would have been really disappointing to me. would be very disappointing to me. I have to be a better post-edit commentator, you know. Anyway, so I'm thinking, look, here, Parsini caught me by surprise right here. I did not expect Parsini to be able to dive it in there, send it. It didn't send it. It wasn't all that dramatic, you know, but I wasn't expecting it. So now I'm just out of sorts. And thinking, well, why I jump on board here, I have no idea. I need to go back up to my... Okay, I'm back on board Passini. I said Parsini, didn't I? Passini, so back on board with me now. And I come in third. Lucy got me at the line. Did he finish by... it's a small preview screen. Yeah, I think he got me by a couple of hundredths anyway. But yeah, I just made too many mistakes down the stretch, and it nearly cost me the podium. But the main thing is I had fun, and I thought this was a cool race, so figure what the heck, and I'll edit it and upload it to YouTube. So I hope you enjoyed it. As you can see, I finished in third, Marquez in first, Luffy. Here's Luffy. Finished in second, and of course Passini in fourth.